All right, today we are jumping into one of the biggest new tools for educators out there, Google's Gemini. We're going to break down what it is, what you can do with it, and really how to think about it as a brand new kind of partner for your classroom. Okay, let's get into it.
First, just think about this for a second. What if you had a teaching assistant who literally never got tired? One who could help you brainstorm a whole new unit on a Sunday night, whip up that tricky email to a parent in like 10 seconds, and even help you rewrite a reading passage for 3 different levels all at the same time. Well, that's the promise we're going to explore today. So, first things first, let's get a really clear picture of this new AI partner. What is Gemini actually? And maybe even more importantly, what is it not? At its heart, Gemini is what we call a generative AI. Now, the 2 words you really got to grab onto there are generative and conversational. Generative means it actually creates new stuff, new text, new ideas, lesson plans that didn't exist a second ago. And conversational means you talk to it, you interact with it, you have a conversation.
And this right here, this clears up the biggest misconception out there. Gemini is not the same thing as Google search. Not at all. Think of a search engine like a giant library. It goes out and finds existing websites and information for you. Gemini, on the other hand, is like a creative partner sitting right there with you. It doesn't just find stuff, it brainstorms with you to make something totally new.
This quote really nails the key mindset shift. You don't go to Gemini to look something up, like you're in a library. You go to it to collaborate, to create, to build something from the ground up. It's not a librarian handing you a book. It's a partner at the whiteboard with a marker in its hand.
All right, so enough with the theory, let's get practical. This is where your use superpower really begins. We're going to look at how this tool can help with everything from planning and admin work all the way to really personalizing your teaching. First up, let's talk about a big one of the most time-consuming jobs any of us have. Planning a whole new unit from scratch. Let's see how Gemini can help with that. So here's a prompt you could give it. And notice how specific this is, right? We're telling it the number of days, the exact grade level, the topic, and we're even asking for specific things like a hands-on activity and an assessment. The details matter. And boom! Here's a little snapshot of what you might get back. In just a few seconds, you have a structured plan, breaking down the concepts day by day. It even suggests a great idea for a mini terrarium and gives you an assessment idea. Now, is this the final, perfect plan? No, of course not. But it's an unbelievable first draft that could save you hours. Okay, next up, that never-ending stream of parent emails. You know, the weekly newsletters, the field trip reminders, all those little things that take up so much time and mental energy. Check this out. It's a simple, direct prompt. You just feed it all the key details. The cost, the deadline, what kids need to wear, and you're basically handing off the busy work of structuring the message, making sure it sounds polite and professional, and ensuring you don't forget anything. It's a huge time saver. Now for what I honestly think is one of the most powerful uses for Gemini in a classroom: differentiation. I mean, making complex ideas accessible to every single learner is one of our biggest challenges, and this is where AI can be a total game changer. So let's say this is a sentence from your science textbook. It's 100% accurate, sure, but wow, is it dense. It's filled with academic language that's just going to be a wall for a lot of your students. And then with a super simple prompt like, hey, rewrite this for a 4th grader, you get this. The core information is exactly the same, but the language, it's accessible, it's engaging, it's immediately understandable. And you can do this for literally any text in seconds. So we've seen what Gemini can do, which is pretty amazing, but how do you actually make sure you get these awesome high-quality results? Well, it all comes down to mastering what I call the art of the ask. You have to learn how to write a good prompt. There's this old saying in computer science, garbage in, garbage out. And it has never been more true than it is right here. The quality of the answer you get from Gemini is 100% dependent on the quality of the question you ask it. A vague prompt will always get you a vague, useless answer. So how do you avoid getting that garbage back? Well, it really just boils down to 3 simple principles. Number 1, be specific. Don't just ask for a lesson. Ask for a 45-minute 7th grade lesson. 2, provide context. Give Gemini a role. Tell it you are a chemistry teacher. And 3, iterate. Talk to it. If the first try isn't quite right, tell it what to change and try again. Let's make this super concrete. If you just type in, write a lesson on fractions, you're going to get a really generic, probably not very helpful overview. But look at the improved prompt. We gave it a role, a third-grade teacher. We gave it a time limit, 45 minutes. And we gave it a specific fun visual aid, pizza. The difference in the output is just night and day. You go from something useless to something you could actually use tomorrow.
Now, with all of this amazing power comes some really critical responsibility. This last part is honestly the most important piece of the puzzle: how we use AI responsibly and ethically, and how we model that for our students. This has to be a partnership, not a shortcut.
So, what does that look like in practice? First, we have to keep that thought partner mindset. We're using AI to help us think, not to do the thinking for us. Second, and this is absolutely non-negotiable, human oversight is crucial. AI makes mistakes, it can be wrong. You are always the final editor and the final fact checker, always. And finally, be transparent. Follow whatever your school's policy is on citing or acknowledging the use of AI.
And you know, it's not just about how we use it. We have to teach our students to be critical thinkers about this stuff too. We need to have conversations about where AI gets its information and why it's so important to always verify it. We have to model how to use these tools as a starting point for learning, not as an oracle that has all the answers. So we'll end with this. The reality is AI is here. It's in our classrooms, it's on our students' phones. The question isn't if we're going to deal with it, it's how. As educators, we are in such a unique spot to help shape this whole new world. So, the real question is, how are you going to lead that conversation?